welcome Bears members and fans to another edition of Bears Banter. I've got three special players with us today. We're going to have a chat about not only what they've done in regards to playing footy this year with the Bears and in one instance with the Roosters Jersey Flegg team, but also particularly about how they've come to be part of the Bears playing outfit. We've got some really strong pathways that we're developing and that are working really well. And these three guys are really going to show that for us. So we've got Jacob Preston with us. We've got Tom Carr with us. And we've also got Penioni Tagituimua, who is a Fijian international. So we'll get to you, Penny, soon enough. But let's talk to you first, Jacob. You're a player who's played in the Bears ranks for about 5 years now. Tell us a little bit about how that came about.
Yeah, well, I started off my juniors Bears Eagles in the Manly district, and I did a bit of development stuff with them, and then the Bears about under 15s called me up and asked me to come over. So yeah, jumped at the opportunity, and from there I just went up through the ranks through Harold Mats, SG Ball, and into the Flegg, and yeah, been really good.
Yeah, awesome. And you played Harold Mats, you played SG Ball, and then Jersey Flegg for the Bears. A couple of injuries along the way. Am I right in saying?
Yeah, Harold Mats. I broke my leg in 7 places, so it was a bit of a rough trot for a year or two there, but I got through it, so I'm glad I did, and yeah, injury free at the moment, which is good.
Now, a big part of your journey so far was last year's President's Cup on the back of COVID stopping competitions, and you got to step up into that level and play with some of the older guys. How did you find that?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Obviously, when Flegg I was pretty disappointed last year, but then I got to come in and got the chance to play and train with all those boys in the President's Cup, and I learned so much under you guys and all the boys around me, and I learned heaps last year, and yeah, I'm thankful for that.
Awesome, great to hear. Now you're obviously out working today.
Yeah, Australia Post delivery driving. It's essential. So
yeah, good stuff. All right, so Jacob is currently playing with the Roosters Jersey Flegg team, which is a really strong part of our pathway. We're going to come back and talk to him about his season, but we'll move on to you, Penny. So a massive experience, I'm sure, that you're undergoing at the moment, and that is being firstly in Australia with the Fijian Silktails Ron Massey Cup team. Firstly, how have you found coming to Australia and getting accustomed to training full time, etc.?
Yeah, with everything, especially with everything that's happening around the world right now with COVID and everything, I was really blessed to be picked and to be part of the Kaiviti Silktails team, and especially to be over here playing footy, because back home there's no footy, nothing is allowed, not even training, because of all this COVID thing that's happening. And yeah, being here in overseas and then playing footy full time and then just doing training every day, and also to be picked. When I was told that I was going to be making my debut for the Bears that weekend against the Mounties, I was out of words. I couldn't explain it. I had to call my mom and dad and tell them everything, and they were so proud of me and excited about everything. And yeah, I've learned so much, and I'm really blessed. I'm enjoying everything with footy here right now, especially.
Yeah, now, Penny, you are a Fijian international, right? So you've played a few games, 3 games for the Fijian team?
Yeah. Made my debut for Fiji back in 2019, and that is when we played against Lebanon, June test, and then I played the other 2 games was the Oceania test. At the end of the year in 2019, we played in New Zealand against the Samoa and Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, right. And you had a big win in that first game. Is that right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was a really good experience for me back then, especially going under the wings of the NRL boys, especially some of the well-known names in the NRL, especially with Micah Siva and them playing alongside them. It was a surreal experience for me, and it was just I enjoyed every moment of it.
Yeah, awesome. And what about the Olympics on at the moment? Are you following the Fijian rugby nines team?
Sevens team.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was a sevens team. Yeah, I was following it because you know how sevens is back home. It's like rugby league here in Australia. It's like a national sport. So back home it's sevens, and everyone's going crazy back home with all the curfews and everything. They're just still celebrating. I don't know how they manage, but yeah, they're still celebrating right now.
Great to see. I noticed there was some stuff happening yesterday, and I was watching, and you were trying to call me, and I'm thinking, well, he's obviously not watching because I'm watching the Australians swim, and there was no Fijian, so I'm thinking, well, I'm sure he's tuned. I'm sure he wouldn't be calling me when the sevens were on. That's for sure. Okay, let's move on to you, Tommy Carr. Obviously, your path in regards to coming across with the Bears has got a massive story behind it. Let's just touch on that ever so quickly, and then we can move on. But how did you come to be with us?
So I started my representative footy at Dragons. So I was playing in the Illawarra comp for Helensburgh, and then got a trial out with 20s, and sort of went from there. Played 20s and played for Cutters when we won the comp, and then went to Bulldogs for 2 years. And on the second year of my Bulldogs year, I did my ankle a few times, and then I came back and I got tested positive for a pre-workout supplement. There was a few things in the pre-workout supplement. Didn't take it on purpose. So I took it to stay awake because I was working full-time as a PT before and after training full-time. And yeah, I checked all the back on the ASADA website and stuff like that, and it was a contaminated batch. So I got suspended for 2 years.
Yeah, and you know, you've put out there's a video you can watch of Tommy and his story, and it's very compelling, and it's great that you've actually done that, mate, to just share your experience with everybody, and for young players to understand that it's really important that they make sure they know exactly what they're putting in their bodies every time they take one of those supplements. Now, you're out and about as well at the moment, right? You talked about the PT, and you've been training this morning and just on the side of the road, sweating up as we speak, right?
Yeah. So we're still doing Zoom sessions online, and with an old footy bloke, Adam Dykes, used to play with. He likes turning up our Zoom room to about 40 degrees and using it as like a sauna. So when you're in with him, it's a bit of a touch up. Doesn't matter what you're doing, he forces it to be about 40, 45 degrees.
Well, you mentioned Adam Dykes' name, and it reminds me that it was actually Dean Hallertau who first called me to say, listen, there's this young fella who's got a bit of ability that is looking for an opportunity, and you were still serving part of your suspension when you came across to us last year and started training with us. And I must say that thank you to Dean for putting him in touch with us, because it's been nothing but positive from our perspective. Tommy, even though you didn't play any games with us last year, you trained with us throughout that President's Cup season last year. How did you find that?
Yeah, I love that. And I was very thankful for you and all the Bears to sort of bring me in. Obviously, I couldn't play, and I think it was about 2 months before I couldn't play, I was allowed to train. And you pretty much told me at the start I probably won't play, but it'd be good to have me along. And that was, I think I needed that. Having been out of the game for 2 years, I sort of wasn't sure how I'd fit coming back into it, and being allowed to come back in and train with a good footy side that made it just close to the grand final. And for many people that weren't training last year, everyone sort of pulled out. It was good to sort of see the light to come back to footy.
Yeah, no, Had a tough path there, and then here we are. You know, you finally get yourself back on the field, and then these competitions keep stopping again. So we'll come back to some of that. So, all right, Jacob, let's go back to yourself and let's talk about the current season, right? So it has been impressive for you personally. You're probably not going to talk it up too much, but you've played with the Roosters Jersey Flegg team, which is a clear part of the Bears pathway. So you talked about Harold Matthews and SG Ball at the Roosters. You even played some a little bit of Jersey Flegg. But our pathway now leads straight into that Roosters Jersey Flegg team, and then comes back to our North Sydney Bears New South Wales Cup team. How have you found it this year?
Yeah, no, I've loved every moment over at the Roosters under Barnesy and all the coaching staff. Yeah, all the boys, great bunch of boys over there. Made some really good friends, and yeah, I've also learned a lot. Barnesy's all about the basics, and it's really helped my game. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, he does really work hard on that. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the numbers that you've been producing, because it has been impressive. You played pretty much every game. You carried the ball for well over 100 metres each game. You're making sort of 25 to 35 tackles a game. It's been impressive, mate.
Yeah, thanks, JT. I just try to do my job for the team and get through work.
I need you to give me a bit more.
No, look, I enjoy carrying the ball and making my tackles, and I just love footy in general. And every week, I feel blessed to play for a team that I enjoy doing what I love.
And there's some talented players coming through that squad as well. Who are some of the guys that you've enjoyed playing with?
Oh, I love playing with Luca Moretti. He's obviously played a couple of games for the Bears. He just brings so much energy and mongrel, and you can really tell when he's on and we're on. And yeah, all the boys are there's a lot of talented boys in the team, but yeah, Luca Moretti would be one that I really love taking field with.
Yeah, nice. You're right. When Luca's on, then it's going to be a good day, and we want to keep him working hard and going forward. All right, Penny, let's talk about it for you, mate. It's been a pretty massive season. You got an opportunity to play with the Bears, as you mentioned. How did you find it? And in general, how have you found the footy in Australia, the Ron Massey Cup, and then into the opportunity to play with the New South Wales Cup team?
On our first game here, the first thing I knew was the pace. It was so different. It was so fast and everything. And it was funny because it's our first time coming over, and especially playing our first year here in Australian competition. And especially with that, coming with the new rule, the 6 again rule, everything was fast. It was just like going and going. Like it was, we struggled on our first few games, coming over with the boys and everyone. We struggled the first few games, and then yeah, we managed to like adapt to the pace of the game and everything. And yeah, we've enjoyed every minute of it, and just love playing footy week in, week out.
Okay, and you touched on it a little bit before when you were given the opportunity to make your debut with the Bears, and you had to ring your family. Let's just talk through that a little bit. It was a great experience, eh?
Yeah, it was a really great experience. I loved it. I loved it so much because the boys knows me. Like I'm not an emotional person. I hide it very well. I am. I just hide it very well. Yeah, I remember the day I came into training with the PSA. Then you came up to me and you like told me I was gonna play for the Bears that weekend. I still couldn't believe it. I was like, it's not real until I run into the field. That's when it's gonna be real for me. And then yeah, I came home that night, and then I called my mom and dad. I was like, hopefully keep praying. Hopefully I'm gonna be making my debut for the Bears this weekend. I was kind of like excited and upset at the same time because I was still captain of the Kaiviti Silktails team, and obviously I wouldn't be playing with them that week because I'm going to be coming up, and also they're going to be playing they were playing the Hills. They're playing the Hills Bulls that weekend. I was kind of devastated because I was not going to be playing with them, but at the same time I was excited because I was going to be playing a grade up New South Wales Cup. And yeah, I think everything that happened in the changing room that morning before we went into went up for warm up. I think that's one thing I'll never forget. With you guys putting up the projector and everyone. I looked at the boys and everyone was looking at each other we're doing and saying like, "Are we doing another video session?" Or I didn't expect it. I didn't know that Stevie was doing all that behind my back, but yeah, he put me on the spot there, and I had the experience of my life making my debut for the Bears that day, and it just made my experience a lot better because I played a good game that day, and I was so happy about it.
Yeah, well, look, it was something that the rest of us will never forget as well. Penny, to have your dad, we felt like he was in the dressing room with us, making the speech for you about you making your debut with the Bears. It was enormous, but as good as that was, the thing that really, really went crazy was every single one of your Silktails teammates coming along to the game, and then their singing performance after the game, just on the sideline there, was so impressive. Something that in Australia it's not something that we see often. Talk us through that a little bit. I'm sure I know you were emotional again there on the back of that. Hey. Yeah.
Oh man. Because back home, I think apart from footy, it's God first and our faith and everything. Like everyone was brought up back in Fiji with true faith, and I think second is family, and then third is Fiji sevens. It's just footy. So yeah, being here with the boys, especially being apart from all of our families, I was so happy to see the boys there that day straight after the game. They're supporting me, especially with my families back home, and also here, all my families that lives here, they live up in Queensland. And yeah, just to see the boys there and then singing the hymn straight after, it was just I was speechless straight after. I didn't know what to say, but just to stand there and enjoy the moment.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. It was a great memory for all of us to be there at the game that day and see that happen both before and after the game. It's an absolute credit to you. You played 4 games with the Bears now.
Yeah.
And provided we get these comps up and running again, there will be more in the future. That's for sure. You've done a great job with that. Okay, Tommy Carr. So you finally got to season 2021. You got 1 game last year, right? And you scored about 4 tries or something. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah. Played for Cronulla Caringbah just with a few of the local boys, a few old boys coming back and training. And I thought I can get 1 game in, so I may as well give it a good crack.
Yeah, and the try-scoring feats have continued. You've scored 10 tries in 8 games with us this year. You haven't played every game. It's been a little bit up and down in regards to some guys pushing you back to play with the Hills Bulls in the Ron Massey Cup. I've got to say it's an absolute credit to you the way you've handled that, and every single minute that you've been on the field with the Bears, it's been such a positive experience for us. Talk us through those 10 tries. Do you remember every one of them?
Nah, most of it's, the wingers, I get accolades for everything, but most of it's the inside boys doing all the good stuff. I just pretty much put it down. So I get the accolades of all the tries, but it's the forwards and then the halves that make them look good. So it's all right.
Yeah, that's actually not true. There are a couple of those, and I'm sure these 2 guys will know that I'm right. There are a couple of those 10 you caught the ball and put it down. But so many of them you had so much work to do, and you still got yourself to the line and did a great job. And I think what you've done defensively has been really impressive as well. I think you've improved that over the course of the time this year. How have you found that?
Yeah, but coming out of a few year break, obviously I was a bit off the pace a little bit, and coming into a new team, obviously coming from the Bulldogs, structures with defensive sort of attitudes were a little bit different. So the first few games and in some training sessions, I got made look a little bit silly, but I think that's good. It's sort of We're working well. Obviously, dancing together. That's what we've always said at the Bears, and I think we're doing that pretty well at training, and it shows in the games. On our sides, we do pretty well.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so look, for all three of you, right now we have fingers crossed that footy's going to get back up and running again, so that we can finish off what's been a great season for all three teams so far this year. Everybody's in a position. Where are the Silktails at, Penny? Just let me know that in regards to possibility of semi-finals. Is that still on the cards?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Like if the competition gets back up and running, it's just going to be around eliminations and semi-finals and stuff.
And you guys
we're like on fifth.
To be playing in that?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. Jacob, we know that the Roosters Jersey Flegg team will definitely be putting themselves in a position to be winning that competition. It's been really great to see those numbers coming out from you every week. Congratulations. And Tommy, as just mentioned, it really has been impressive the way you've converted those tries you scored at training last year, and us going, this guy could be okay, to the way you've done it this year. It's been a credit to you with the effort that you've put into it. And thanks again, Dean Hallertau. Awesome, guys. Awesome, guys. Really great to chat to you. I think it's really clear for everyone that there's such a strong pathway for the Bears, and the way the three of you have come from such different pathways, but have found yourselves back at our club. You know, and Jacob, your next task, I think, is to continue to play as well as you have been, and then step up once you come out of Jersey Flegg age back into that North Sydney Bears New South Wales Cup team. It's right there for you. Tommy, you've done it well, and so have you, Penny. So look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thanks for spending time with us today.
Naka.
Good. Thank you, Jay.